What's up, y'all, and welcome back to Seton Hill Studios. Hope you're having a great day so far. So today, we've got a special priority request from one of our Patreon members, Jesse. Jesse, thank you so much for your generosity and support of the channel. It's never expected, but we appreciate it so much. We're going to be checking out The Longest Day and Legacy, originally performed by Iron Maiden, but this video is performed by kids. So I've never actually heard, I don't think, either of these songs. The original's by Iron Maiden, but I do know that Iron Maiden is, a group of super talented musicians, pioneers of the genre, a staple of the genre. And so I'm excited to hear it performed by kids. Stuff like this is cool because I have kids that play music. I started playing music when I was a kid, so I'm excited to dive into it and see what these kids got going on. I'm sure it's going to be great. But before we get into it, a few ways you guys can continue to support the channel. You can head on over to Patreon and become a member there, or if that doesn't work for you, right here on YouTube, become a channel member. Both of those are going to get you access to priority requests and a slew of other perks and features. And then, as always, with a one-time donation through Buy Me a Coffee, you can get a priority request guaranteed that me or Steven will check it out right here on the channel. All right, y'all, let's get into it. All right, y'all, here we go. The Longest Day and Legacy by Iron Maiden, but performed by kids. I'm excited to check this one out. Let's go ahead and see what it's all about. It looks like they're in a cool studio spot. Oh, gosh. Wasn't expecting a female singer.
The drills to build a machine to turn men from flesh and blood to steel, from paper soldiers to bodies on the.
So he's been doing that hi-hat thing with two hands this whole time, and then I look, it panned, the camera shot goes to him, and then all of a sudden he's just doing it with one hand while he's adjusting something with the other. That's cool, man, that he's already kind of building that independence there. Hey, just right out of the gate, these kids are talented. They got good gear. They got a good sound, like a good tone in the guitars and the bass. I love the little, the gallop kind of pulse there. It's pretty common in like, metal from, this era. But it's super cool. It's kind of the stuff that I grew up with. So it speaks to me. It makes me a little nostalgic. But these kids are good.
Beach from summer sands to Armageddon's reach. Oh Lord, your master, not your God. The enemy coast, dawning gray with God. These wretched souls, puking, shaking fear. Then take a bullet for those who set them here. No world to light.
Sounded like her vocal was doubled there. That's cool.
No escape, remorseless trap, no reins, drowning men, no chance for warriors' fate, a choking death, enter hell's gates, fighting we go, only feet.
It's like a whole field change there.
To the edge of the wire, as we rise with the tide, all the while.
Is he using a China as a ride? I had to take it back. I didn't even pay attention to that before. I'll go back and look. Where's the shot of the drummer? I'm not going to be able to find it. I'll just have to watch and see. I think he was using a China as a ride, which I don't know that I've ever seen that. But that's kind of cool. Hey, when you're a kid, you got to do what you got to do to make it work, man. I can't even tell you. There's plenty of stories that me and Steven can tell you from where we had to just kind of rig stuff together as kids just to make it work. Whew, man. Just thinking about some of the stunts we pulled at kids just to make it happen is wild. Yeah, I want to see that if that was a China or not. I think it was. It is a China. She's got a great voice. Hey. So there's been like 3 like big rhythmic shifts here that like for kids. Again, I don't know if the actual song is like that. I'm assuming it is. But like those rhythmic shifts there are not like just an easy thing to just completely change up what you're doing, but they nailed it and it sounds good. That's awesome. I'll go back and hear this drum fill. I still can't believe he's using a China as a ride. That's so cool. Okay. Get it, little dude. These kids are good. Okay, well, drummer's killing it, man. So one of the things that's like super weird for me is, again, I've never heard these songs. So Dream Theater is one of my favorite bands of all time, probably my favorite band of all time. I can't even do reactions to it on this channel because I've literally heard it all. And I can't wait for their reunion with Mike Portnoy and the new album they got coming out. We'll definitely be reacting to that. But it's funny, man, because I've never really heard any Iron Maiden, but listening to this, I hear so much of the influence that they obviously had to have had on Dream Theater. There's so many parts that I'm hearing, I'm like, that sounds like a Dream Theater thing. And I'm like, well, actually, it's Dream Theater sounding like an Iron Maiden thing. Like their influence on them is very apparent in this song, with the rhythmic changes, the riffs, the piano, all that stuff. It's super cool, man. These kids are fantastic. That drummer's out here just showing off now with these quick little licks and quick foot stuff, and he's throwing stick spins in there. He's killing it, man, killing it. Let's take it back to the start of this other section. doing cross stick, over the arm stuff. Come on now. Hey, this section's dope. Love the piano and guitar riffing together. Hit it. Love the tremolo bit in there. Hey. So that was super cool. You know, most people, you know, especially kids, right? They do a lot of like linear stuff. Like when you're first learning, like it's significantly easier to go around the drum kit from left to right. Right, so you start on the snare, you roll around to the toms, the floor tom, and it was cool because in that little section with the hits together, he actually did it in reverse. Like he did those tom hits ascending instead of descending around from the higher pitched toms to the lower toms, and he reversed it. He brought it from the floor tom around and up counterclockwise, which is not, it's not like mind-blowing, earth-shattering stuff, but like again, I mean, I was a kid that played music, and it was much easier to play fills in a linear way from left to right. And so it's cool to see, you know, he again, he's doing all this stuff, you know, fills, and he's doing the over crossover hand stuff. His drummer, he's killing. They're all killer, but I think the drummer and the keyboard player for me are like the kind of the highlights of this. Everybody's super talented, but I think I'm thoroughly impressed with the drummer and the piano player. They're crushing this performance. I want to hear that little section again. He takes it from right to left and left to right. I love this with the guitar and piano player. He's got a great tone for this song too. Love the delay throw there. They shifted from 6/8 back to 4/4. You're killing me with the mask, man. Okay, so this is a different group of kids. Is the bass player playing the cello? Got a little bitty drummer now. Okay, this is awesome. So this is cool, man. They're obviously in like a professional setting, right? So they're all playing together, kind of in a live room. They got kind of a panel, like on wheels, set up to put in between the drums and like the string mics, so there's not a lot of drum bleed, and they get good string sound, which is super cool. We've got some stuff like that in the studio just to kind of separate out like a vocal booth type setting, and then be able to put one in front of the drums. And so it's cool to see, man. Like I get it. Some people would be like, oh, it's just a bunch of kids, but hey, these kids are talented, and they're getting the right treatment in the studio, which is super cool. I love this, man. I'm glad it's a totally new group of kids too, because they all seem. I mean, even just right at the gate with this song, this group of kids is super talented. I was taken aback at that drummer looks like he's got to be, I don't know, 6 or 7 years old. Like, he's a little dude, but he's in there. He's hitting them, man. I love it. You love to see it.
Tell you a thing that you ought to know. 2 minutes every time, then on you go. Telltale other men, all dressed in black. That most of them not coming back. Sent off to war to play little games.
He's got a good groove for a little dude, man. So I love how they incorporated strings into this. I have no idea if there's strings in the original. Couldn't tell you, but I love it. I love what the violin's doing there, where it's doing it on the offbeats, like that part right there. I love that. Just those little accents right there. It's super cool, man. I don't know where these kids are from, but man, they are crushing it, man. They're so good. I'll take it back a little bit here. Love that little drummer, man. Love that cello line in there too. It's so simple, but it adds so much. Couldn't help but look at the camera. These kids are playing some tough stuff, man. The mask is what's throwing me off, man. Man, that was awesome. That was awesome, man. It's so cool to see kids just loving music, learning music, and generally just being awesome in music. Um, yeah, again, this is special to me. Like, I have kids. I have 6 kids actually, and all of them play music. I've got 2 viola players, a cello player, and 3 violin players. So they all. My wife is a classically trained pianist and violin player, and they all just kind of went that route. Obviously, that's not really ever been me. I've always been kind of a rock guy, prog metal guy. Um, but yeah, it's just cool, man. And to see that blend of the classical instruments, with a metal song. Again, no clue if those were in the actual instrumentation of the song or if they just added this as part of what they were doing. But either way, super cool. Crazy talented groups of kids, man, both of them. All right, y'all. What'd you think? That was awesome, man. Jesse, thank you so much again for this request through Patreon. I'm blessed to have watched it, man. It was super cool to see those groups of kids. One, just leaning in to some older music that was obviously, significantly prior to their generation. But then just musically crushing it. Like they were so talented. Like there was not a weak link in that performance. They were all amazing. That first drummer, man, he's got I don't know who he is, but he's got a bright future ahead of him for sure. He kind of stole the show for me, stick tricks and, hand crossover stuff. And yeah. And then the China for a Ride, man, it's still throwing me, but it was cool. It sounded good. It worked. And, you got to do what you got to do. Maybe it was on purpose. Maybe it's just because it's what they had. I don't know, but it worked. And that's really all that matters. That's the beauty of music, is that if it works and it sounds good, it is good. I don't know how to explain it. I don't try to overthink it. If it sounds good, it is good. But yeah, that was incredible, man. It was so cool, especially the string stuff. For me, I've got a 13-year-old son that plays the cello, and that the end of that section there was pretty rough. Playing those chords and those double stops on the cello, and then the little bit of pizzicato finger picking stuff he did on the cello at the end. That's not easy stuff. And so it was cool to see that incorporated, and the violin stuff as well. I don't normally associate like strings and stuff with metal, but I feel like I've had several reactions on the channel here lately where there's been like horns and strings and all kinds of stuff in metal. So I guess there's just a whole slew of things out there I don't know about, but that's the joy of finding new stuff and being able to react to it right here on the channel. All right, y'all. Make sure that you like the video, subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell so every time we drop new content, you guys can be made aware. And as always, we appreciate you. We'll see you on the next one.